prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept, dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To decline this call, hang up.
Hello?
Hey, I got my ozonator today. It finally arrived.
Oh, let me know if it works.
Okay. You bet.
Is it used or new?
It's brand new, and it does do water as well. And I think it said 600 milligrams of output O3, whatever that means. Oh, I'm sorry, 500 milligrams per hour. I don't know if that's a good or a bad one, but 500.
I did send you the article about using ozone to remove the chlorides, but the guy said he didn't get it yet. Did you get it?
Just as you called right now, just exactly when you called in the last 10 seconds, an email popped up. It says Ideas for Minerals Part 1. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just came in like 5 seconds ago.
You need to CC that to everybody.
Okay.
Okay. If you want, I will read you what I wrote here. I was going to email it to you.
You bet.
Read it.
It's all yours.
You could email it to everybody. I wrote this as a sample of the crowdfunding thing, we could say. You just kind of chop it. When you say go, I'll start reading it, okay?
All right. 3, 2, 1, it's all you.
Yeah, I invented the Galt magneto in 1993 by actually gluing magnets on an aluminum wheel, and it rotated and lifted off the table. As a political prisoner, we have already built a small Galt while I was actually in prison, and it can be seen on the YouTube at Galt Generator. It's the 4th pick down. We now want to build one that will earn over $1 million a month that has a 16-inch rotor so that we can fund the creation of creating more Galt magnetos and to fund Christian radio talk shows and for the expansion of our Green Conservancy movement and associated mission statement. We'd like to seize and conquer the global warming movement and make it a new movement for Jesus Christ. We will issue any and all donors a Green Conservancy Bitcoin within 4 months after receiving any donation, as we need time to create these Bitcoins and to put the necessary infrastructure in place. Now, as long as we succeed in our venture, the donor would have a Green Conservancy Bitcoin that equals the value of his tax-deductible donation, and our Conservation Corporation anyway, so as long as we succeed in our venture, the donor would have a Green Conservancy Bitcoin that equals the value of his tax-deductible donation to our Conservation Corporation at a 50% tax deduction rate as long as the IRS approves our corporate bylaws. Therefore, you would have to wait for a few months while we finish this approval process, to get that benefit. Therefore, we would really appreciate each listener just giving us $1 for this cause at this time to show support for David Hinkson's efforts from prison to get this mission done. We will keep track of all donors and send each donor an email each and every week to keep everybody updated. Each donor will also be put on a list of supporters who will receive priority consideration to be the first to receive benefits that can be delivered to them by the Green Conservancy Corporation.
This call is from a federal prison.
For example, besides getting a Green Conservancy Bitcoin, we would be willing to enter into a cogeneration contract with any supporter who needs to get either free electricity or energy, as our overall mission statement is to provide AC power generation at a price that is reduced by at least 50% and to share the proceeds with anyone who enters into a cogeneration contract with us. Therefore, one of our goals was to place thousands of these units around the country to strategically supply protection to our grid infrastructure. Therefore, providing us with just $1 and registering on our website as a contributor would secure you a place on our list of loyal supporters. Note, donors need to register as either domestic energy users, commercial energy users, or manufacturing energy users so that we can plan ahead on how many different sizes of these magnetos to build. Therefore, we will manufacture as many Galt magnetos as possible, as fast as possible, and enter into as many cogeneration contracts as possible, and work according to the priority of our members, and the need to further provide grid protection in many states and local locations. Donors need to show patience as I'm in prison. The reason we're asking for just $1 is we need supporters and as many cogeneration contracts that can be gathered as possible so that our overall group can work in solidarity as one political group. All funds gathered will be used to keep the expansion growth curve expanding exponentially so that within 1 year we hope to have thousands of electricians installing thousands of Galt motors in every location across America. This in all reality will be a great new co-op of members and supporters who have entered into a co-generation contract with us that will also receive a platinum certificate that will allow them to not have to pay their local property taxes for 10 years. All members can donate their property to the Green Conservancy in the future and get a life estate, and their property will never have to pay any property taxes again. We want to put thousands of like-minded people together for these ends. We can unite businesses who want to lower their energy cost with the environmentalists who want to lower the carbon footprint, as the Galt Magneto needs no carbon-based fuels or nuclear reactors. We at the Green Conservancy want to see all nuclear reactors shut down and all local coal mines shut down and all oil wells shut off. We want to change the world by removing all airborne pollution while uniting all members in our cause. We want to provide clean air, water, and economic opportunities and back our Green Conservancy Bitcoin tokens with something of real value, clean, green energy. Therefore, we really are asking you to just loan us $1, receive a Green Conservancy Bitcoin, and join in our membership drive and receive benefits from our conservational type corporation. Remember, the money given to crowdfunding sites is a gift, and the tokens we will eventually send you are also a gift, and no one will prosper unless we succeed in this venture. Therefore, your dollar donation would now would allow you to cast a vote of confidence that David Hinkson wants to reach out and help you. I have never been accused of lying, stealing, or cheating anybody, and I've done no crime in the past, and I struggle now to help my country and my countrymen at this time. My only agenda is to reach out and help you. All donors will be treated equally, but if someone wants to donate a little extra to receive a cogeneration contract that is expedited, we will attempt to deliver the Galt Magneto as fast as possible to the location of their choice. David Hinkson. The end.
All right, that was great. I was listening as you were talking, and I got a few questions for you. And this is off the record, right? I'm not going to. Yeah. I'll end it where you ended it. Okay, so you know how the prison guards and the wardens are always trying to stop prisoners from operating a business from prison. Are you going to get in trouble because of anything like that?
No.
Okay.
I'm not operating anything.
All right.
In fact, I don't. Did you know that nonprofit corporations have no stock?
Oh yeah. Okay, that's cool. Okay. All right. So here's the other. Yep.
Not only is you can put this on there. Not only is there no stock, but what our mission statement is to basically, I'm trying to seize the global warming movement. Everything's a fraud in this country, and I don't care if you put this on.
Okay.
Let people hear the rest of this conversation.
All right.
But everything's a fraud. There's nothing legitimate in this country. The environmental movement's a fraud. Not only is ozone heavier than air and falls from the sky every day, and all these people think it falls up, but in all reality, our judicial system's a fraud. Our medicine's a fraud. You know, our judicial system's a fraud. There's nothing legitimate in this country. Nothing.
Okay, David, you know? I 100% agree with you there, and I'm the biggest outspoken person against the criminal justice system, the FBI, CIA, IRS, the whole thing, right, the BOP. Here's my question. So you just gave a great, excellent, business model, a business plan, and you've got this 8-cylinder engine. A lot of people are born with 4-cylinder engines, but you're sitting in prison, you got this 8-cylinder engine, and it's going really, really fast, and you said a lot of things in that speech. Who the heck is going to deliver and manufacture these magnetos to start sending to people if people actually start saying they want to volunteer? I mean, is anybody going to be able to deliver on this business plan that you just, recited into the recorder?
Okay, what we're doing right now is we're getting bids from different corporations that make all the component parts. So we'll be able to sub out all the parts. Met Glass, for instance, they're nice people. There's only one S in the name, Met Glass. They're willing to cut out all the parts. out of a product that's 5 times more magnetic than regular steel, which means we can really make these things really small and very powerful and very efficient. The coils, we're gonna sub out the coils to have them wound from aluminum because it's cheaper than copper, and we're gonna sub out the machine shop to build the aluminum box that houses the whole neck glass assembly.
No,
so basically, we got a contractor named my cousin Derek's a contractor. He can assemble them. We have an office building also, and
well, I got.
Basically, we got a lawyer.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, and I know our time is so limited and precious. So let's say I want to be the first. I want to be the first volunteer, right? And I'm willing to donate some money. How much money would I have to donate to get a magneto that I can install in my own house? I mean, how much money would I have to donate? Don't give me a special deal. Don't give me a special deal.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just if we can get lots of people to give just $1 and get on our list. See, if I get released or we get the first magneto hooked up, a 16-inch rotor will make $1 million a month at 4 cents a kilowatt, to be exact about it. And everybody and their dog wants one. Everybody wants one of these magnetos.
Yeah.
I've talked to 4 different power companies. One of them wants to give me $5 million a month right now. So really, what we're trying to do, if any extra money shows up beyond the first $5,000 that it takes to build one, a big one, it'll go into the Green Conservancy. We'll report to all the people, and if nobody donates very much, we have to maybe ask everybody to give another $1. But what we're trying to do really is collect names, so we have this list of people that believe in us, and we're working with these people. And your naysayer doesn't need to bother giving us $1. I don't want my list.
Okay, right. Yeah, I got you on that.
Okay, so this is my thinking, and once we get the first one hooked up, it'll fund the creation of this thing ongoing. In other words, this thing will grow its own legs. And this is what I keep telling everybody. So what I've got Jeremiah doing right now, and Dennis Chan and everybody else, they're all trying to get exact quotes from the Met Glass people as to how much they're going to charge us. Right now, I don't have a 100% quote that's written. It could be anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 just for the parts to build a big one.
Okay.
Couldn't be over $3,000. $3,000 is quite a bit of money, but this unit that'll make $1 million a month is exactly 32 inches by 32.
This call is from a federal prison.
And it's 5 foot high. It's the size of a small refrigerator.
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll wheel through a door. It'll hook up very easy, and 3 or 4 men will be able to lift it. It's going to be heavy.
Yeah.
But it's going to literally make $1 million worth of power at 4 cents.
Is this plan that you just recited? Is it dependent upon you getting out of prison?
No.
Okay. I hope you do get out of prison.
We're going to hire electricians. In fact, I'd like to hire Teamster Union electricians because they're loyal. I know they get $60 an hour, but we got plenty of money once this thing gets rolling. And we just want to spread out and place them in different locations with people that we're working with and give them half-price power or free power. It depends on the deal we can make with them and the location they've got. But the bottom line is we need these things placed strategically in every state across the union to protect the grid from EMP and CME. Because right now you've got Mark Levin, you've got Hannity, and Glenn Beck, and all the others, and George Norrie. You got all these people talking about how America will cease to exist completely if an EMP or coronal mass ejection were to hit the country. China's hardened her grid. Russia's hardened her electrical grid. This is the only country where the people are vulnerable.
Okay.
Even Brazil has hardened her grid.
Yeah.
So if the CME or EMP were to hit us, we would cease to be a nation, and literally 90% of all the people that are listening to this, what we're talking about, would be dead within 4 months. Plus all the nuclear reactors would be melting down. So what we're trying to do is move forward and create a movement of real science to solve the real phony global warming problem that's probably based 80% on falsehood.
I'm going to put, we're down to the last 30 seconds. I'm going to put out two versions. One is the long version where we have the whole conversation, and I'll put out a smaller version with just your speech. I do have some follow-up questions, but we're not going to have enough time to go into them. But God bless you, David, and our prayers are with you.
Okay, I'll call you back in a little bit if you want.
Sure, if you can.
Hang in there.
You can, all right.
Okay.
God bless. Bye-bye.
To accept, dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I got a follow-up question. So,
Okay, before you go with that, I want to finish last question. I feel that the Internal Revenue Service will 100% approve our conservation status because we're saying the right thing. We sound like we're flaming liberals.
yeah.
We sound like we're just really right in the scheme of the evil, you know. But we're really not in this scheme because we don't believe global warming's real at all. In fact, they're not even talking about the fact that oxygen levels are being lowered if the carbon levels are being raised.
Yeah.
But they brought the horse to the party, and we need to saddle it. So we want to make this movement. Basically, we want to help create jobs, create employment for people. Really, yes, I'd like to close all the coal mines. I'd like to shut down all the nuclear reactors. But on the other hand, we're going to create millions of new jobs. Because we have 7 energy devices, and if we can ever just get moving on what we're working on here, we're going to have a situation where we're going to convert cars to not need fuel. These devices can be put in all the electric cars, so they never have to be plugged in. You know, the U.S. Navy, which is totally controlled by the by the bankers.
Yeah.
They really need. Everybody needs to go with green energy, whether it be the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, all the countries of the world. If we're going to start a war, let's let it be a war of technology, because everything needs to be updated to be green. Everything, every car, every boat, every plane, every missile system, everything needs to be green. Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody can agree on that. Okay. That's our plan. Anyway, go ahead with your question.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you've got several talk show radio hosts lined up that you've communicated with, and they're going to be discussing this possibly on their program. You also mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, if I go back and re-listen to your speech, you said a website where people can sign up and donate $1, and their name or email will be collected. Who's going to do all that? What's the name of the website? I mean, if somebody asks me, right, I got to be able to answer the question.
Anybody can go set up a website. It's not a problem. Guy Wilson already has one set up, just so you'll know. And Derek's got one. And Scott Tanner's going to get one, he said. That's the attorney in Vegas that says he would handle everything for us. So, also, if any of these radio stations would like to get an account and collect the money and pay the bills directly so that nobody rips off the cause here, because I'm in prison, I can't spend the money.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. What I'm trying to do is I want to get the money to go directly, if I can, directly to MetGlass to pay for X number of parts to be delivered to a place that assembles it. Okay? I'm going to get everything subbed out to the point where everything is in high gear, and then as soon as we install the first big one, that 90% of that money can go in for expansion. We're just going to keep expanding. So what we want to do is each talk show that's helping us, remember, it only takes $5,000 to build one of these. And if you want to jump that to 10 because we have to buy used inverters and we have to pay an electrician and all that, 10 would be a conservative amount. If we had 10 of these to build, 100,000 would build 10 of them. I'm talking big ones with $1 million income. So the first one's always going to be the most expensive because we're just not really set up like you said. But I'm trying to be totally honest up front and telling people, it'll be 4 months before the IRS will approve it, and they can't deduct it off their taxes until the IRS approves it. And it might be 4 months before we can issue the Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin's not going to have any value unless we succeed. But if we succeed and we pay these people back their dollar in energy, in other words, if you give us $1, we give you back $1, all of a sudden we've just made the Bitcoin tokens that we're giving out, which have no value, they have more value than Federal Reserve notes, which are not even real money. So I have a lot of agendas here. I would like to create an actual money supply that's backed by something besides hot air.
Yeah, amen to that.
Okay. Yeah. So, and the reason I put in that speech that I would like to fund radio talk shows is I would like to actually build the first transformer we build and co-generate with the actual talk shows that are raising the money to help pay them to expand and to reach more people.
Okay.
Because,
yeah.
Again, I'm trying to be generous here because we literally have, I mean, if I can, raise enough money to build the first big one and get it placed, I got $1 million a month coming in. We can share that money with the talk shows that are helping. And if one show only raises $3,000 and the other show with 3 million listeners raises $1 million, the show that raised more will be helping support the shows that didn't raise very much, because I'm not really a socialist at all. I'm not into that.
Right.
But I'm trying to help all those that help us. And, if somebody actually were to donate, like that nice lady did, $5,000 for the cause to build the transformer, I would be more than happy to expedite that model for that person and get her one right away, a smaller one for her house or whatever, so that she no longer has to pay her power bill.
Yeah.
Our mission statement is to sell power for half price. So if you got a $500 power bill and we put a transformer magneto on your house that makes $1,000 a month, right? Well, you could collect $500 a month from the power company and your power is free.
Yeah.
That's how it would be free power.
Yeah.
So overall, our mission statement is to sell the power for half price to help everybody while collecting literally billions of dollars a month and sharing it with the movement to go green.
Gotcha.
I don't know how I'm...
No. I follow.
College from a federal prison.
This is all dependent upon the fact that your Galt motor says what you can say. It does what you say it can do. I do have some more questions. So if somebody contacts me, because I'm going to probably upload these videos tonight, David, right? And they're going to say, I might get a few people to say, I want to donate $1 and be on the list. Okay, so I'm not going to have a website. I'm not going to have any way to collect money, and that's not what I do, right? So I'm going to point them to Dr. Guy Wilson if that's what you want me to do. If somebody contacts me about your speech that you gave earlier, my plan of action is, if you want to know more and you want to donate and you want to get on the list, you need to contact Dr. Guy Wilson. Is that your instructions to me?
It is, but I also say if they're concerned about the fact Guy is set up, but I was going to say if they just give the credit card number and say the amount, like the dollar, you can just hold that for a few weeks till we get it figured out. Also, in other words, I'm not pressure on Guy.
Yeah.
But Guy said he's ready to start the first of the year, which is about 2.5 weeks away.
Yeah. Well, let me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not very far away. So I'm in extreme scrutiny from the United States government, the powers that be, that want to put me in jail any chance they get. So I don't feel comfortable taking people's credit card numbers, but I will direct them. Right. I'll say if you're interested in being a part of this, and then to contact Dr. Guy Wilson. I'll share Dr. Guy Wilson's email address, and people can go there. You also mentioned people don't have to pay their property tax. Would you mind expanding on that, because that gets my attention?
Well, I would love to. The law in every state in this union right now was promulgated and, politically pushed by an organization called the U.S. Green Council.com. I just said the whole name so you can go look at it. USGreenCouncil.com.
Let's call it from a federal prison.
And I think they work for the World Bankers. That's my real opinion. But they have got laws passed in every state. And what these laws say is that on new construction, if you drop the price, or if you create your power green, you don't have to pay any property taxes for 10 years. But you have to create 60% of your power needs green. But nobody qualifies for that on used like a property that's been there a long time. So the Palazzo Casino in Las Vegas got a platinum certificate from the U.S. Green Council. They paid $100,000 for said platinum certificate. So they paid for that, and they used reconditioned concrete. They have plugs for their hybrids, and they did all this to qualify for this platinum certificate. They don't pay any property taxes for 10 years, which came to $30 million. $3 million a year times 10 years is $30 million. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. The average homeowner is paying like maybe $1,000 to $2,000 a year for property taxes. So we're the only people that can actually offer this to a older property. Only us.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you put the whole state of Texas in solar panels, that would barely handle Los Angeles downtown.
Gotcha.
Solar doesn't qualify because it's just you can't take the Tropicana Hotel Casino and you can't put enough solar panels on it to meet the guideline for a property that's already been constructed.
Well, I want to be clear that the naysayers who hear you say you don't have to pay your property taxes, they hear it in a criminal way, like you're trying to get people to avoid paying their fair share of taxes. But you're saying this is already a law on the books. You're just telling people to take advantage of the law, and you've got a motor that can help them do that. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, because I don't want anybody to think like you're advocating people not pay their property tax, because that's not what you're saying at all. You're saying you've got a very...
I didn't create these laws. I think the bankers that control the world created all these laws. But I know they said I didn't want to pay my fair share. I don't know anybody that's read the whole IRS code. I have.
Wow.
Every inch of it.
Wow.
Okay?
But
anyway, the point is, there's more than one program. That's the first program. The U.S. Green Council did that in China also, and in India, and many other countries have the same. All you got to do is go to usgreencouncil.com or org or whatever it is, U.S. Green Council, and it'll tell you all about the platinum certificates, the silver certificates, and the gold certificates. We can offer all these certificates for free. They're charging $100,000 for new construction. I can give you a free certificate as long as I hook up one of these magnetos at your house that makes you qualify. Then you take that certificate to your county recorder's office, you file stamp it, and you're off the tax rolls for 10 years. The other plan was created by the bankers, by the Nature Conservancy for conservation. So if somebody were to give us their farm, I don't really care about this, but if somebody were to give us their farm and we gave them a life estate and their family a life estate where you could just farm it for the rest of your life and your family can farm it for the rest of their life, just give it to us to hold for conservation purposes. You never have to pay your property tax ever again.
Okay,
ever.
now, David, I trust you. I think of you as a brother in the Lord, and I have inherent trust when it comes to you, right? But for people that are listening that may not know who you are, and you said, it can come across as one of these cheesy preachers who says, "Sign your property over to us, and everything will be just fine."
I don't care.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying, personally, I don't care because I just don't care. I mean, if one transformer makes $1 million a month, we just don't care.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to steal somebody's property. I don't need their property.
I got you.
What I want is a group of people that stand together as one.
Yeah.
And we have a common cause. I don't care if you're a flaming liberal or you're a neo-Nazi. I don't care. Everybody wants to get the price of energy down at least by half or get some free electricity. We need to feed the grid, and we can all come together. The environmentalists can now be happy and friends with the business guy who's trying to lower his cost of manufacturing. I don't really care.
It sounds like one heck of a plan. It sounds like a heck of a plan. I'm going to sign up. I can't wait for Okay.
I do believe it's a scam because the Nature Conservancy is asking people, "Oh, you want a segment of the earth? Give us your farm." And they're collecting farms. They're collecting thousands of acres. In fact, they were collecting 6,000 acres a day of U.S. farmland forever. And by the world bankers. And these bankers want to basically seize the food supply and make sure nobody has any food because they have a scheme. Okay?
Yeah.
That was one of the things I reported on my talk show, you see. So to qualify for conservation, we need to put a transformer on the land. We need to put deed restrictions on the property saying that no power that burns coal can ever be generated on that property. You have to do certain things to be legit, even in this concept. But I understand all this. I'll call you back one more time if you want.
Okay, if you want to, and I would like some ideas on how to use that ozonator that just came in today. But God bless you, David. We're praying for your miracle.
Okay.
All right, bye.
At a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature.
Oh, but by the way, I copied you on an email I sent to the phone company complaining that one of your 5 numbers does not work. So we'll see what they say.
Okay.
All right.
So really, if we can just get 500,000 people to give $1 and get on this list, this thing will self-fund fairly fast, I believe. And we can just keep the thing expanding while I sit here trying to orchestrate, all the subcontracting. But
Okay.
people out there need to know, I got 7 other inventions.
Yeah.
This magneto is a great invention. Jeremiah, he's got his Tesla turbine working. And I have something, and you have drawings on your website. I invented a thing called an electric jet engine. This thing self-feeds. The way it revs up is you take the 2 coil wires that come out of the electric jet engine, you touch them together, and it accelerates rapidly, and you pull the wires apart, it deaccelerates rapidly. So the way this thing runs is the computer chip pulses the energy into the jet engine to maintain an idle speed. And when you floor it, it just keeps the wires together full time, and it accelerates off the chart. I've actually tested one stage of that. I mean, in the picture, I think I show eight different stages. Now, there's 8 rotors in it, but I've only tested one rotor. It works very smoothly. Okay. So I want to put that. I want to replace the jet engine on all the airplanes with that. Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
So that's the plan.
Okay. Have you considered that people, the powers that be? We had a conversation a few days ago where you mentioned they were taking out natural doctors left and right. That anybody who promotes, natural cures for things, that goes against the pharmaceutical companies. Obviously, if everything you're saying is true, my wife said hundreds of doctors, so I don't know, I haven't kept up. But if what you're saying is true, the enemy is obviously going to try to come at you, but that doesn't seem to stop you from trying anyway. So, but that's good. I'm glad. I like your attitude.
Well, I'm already in prison. They can't do much more other than take me out and nail me up to a cross or something.
Yeah.
No matter what happens to me, if people can download the picture of the jet engine and they can start looking at this magneto, if something happens to me, people need to rise up and wake up. Everything they've been taught in school is a lie. Everything.
Yeah. Amen to that.
And the sooner people come to realize that, the better off they're going to be, because the people that run this world have no good intention for these people that are listening to this show.
Yeah.
There's just no good intention.
No, that's absolutely true. And this is a topic I don't like talking about, but I would like to, since we're on it, let's just discuss it. If something happens to you, God forbid, and I pray you get out of there tonight and the Lord opens a miracle, but if something does happen to you, right, is your instructions to me that all the drawings that you have sent me for all the inventions to be made public on your webpage, is that, or do you want me to send it to somebody? You tell me what you want to do, and I'll just follow.
I would just give it all away. Just let everybody in the tens of thousands of people have it. Just download it. Just send it out.
All right. Okay. Because a lot of it is already available, but there's just a few drawings that Okay. All right. Very good.
What gets me is people are so blinded with their false belief systems across the board.
Yeah.
But nobody's even tried to steal this magneto.
Right. Or that nobody's even thought of the idea of the copper water, which it sounds like a pretty simplistic approach, but yet it seems to be very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when Dr. Galt discovered that hydrazine sulfate was the cure for cancer, all cancers.
Yeah.
But he had to flee the country. He's now living in Russia, practicing medicine in St. Petersburg.
How do you spell his last name? Is it Gould or Gold?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But you Google both and type in Kathy Keaton's story.
Okay.
Keeton.
All right. Very good.
I met with him over there because he fled, and I went to Russia, and I wanted to go talk to him. But, I was the one that discovered that hydrazine sulfate does the same job. Both are poisonous, by the way. Both come with skull and crossbones on them. But it only takes like a tenth of a penny's worth to be a cure. It's just ridiculous,
Yeah.
These people want to use chemotherapy and radiation and all this other crap, and they want to charge you $300,000 to $500,000 for a treatment, and you can buy a bottle of hydrazine sulfate for probably $50 a pound. It only takes 10 milligrams for a treatment. That's 10 milligrams is what fits on the head of a pin. When you're sewing the little pins that have the little head on them,
Yep.
You dip that in the powder and hold it up. The amount that sticks on the head of a pin, that's 10 milligrams.
Wow. Somebody sent me an article.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody sent me an article, and they said that they took a poll of chemotherapy doctors, and that they asked chemotherapy doctors, if you get cancer, would you take chemotherapy? An overwhelming majority of chemotherapy doctors said they would not take chemotherapy if their own self got cancer. So I found that an amazing statistic.
Yeah. Well, Joe Wallach has that tape, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, but he's the biggest liar I've ever met.
Well, I know you speak very bluntly about your opinions of him. I don't know the man, but I'm telling you, a lot of people have a lot of respect for him. So,
let me tell you. Let me point something out to you. Okay. This calcium carbonate story, you're getting it now, about blackboard chalk not being used for the bones.
Yeah.
Okay. He heard my lecture. He wasn't interested in selling calcium that actually was made from calcium metal. No, his interest was to keep selling blackboard chalk. Him and the other guy, Robert Morningstar or whatever his name is, he wrote a book about the coral calcium. These people are defenders of their faith, not seekers of truth. They don't want me showing up and talking about a real concept. Because I'll tell you, and you can play this right to everybody to hear it, when Wallach saw that I spoke after him, he packed his bags and ran out of the building.
Wow. It sounds like
He fled.
Yeah.
And I know he's badmouthed me with Nori.
Yeah.
And you remember I told you about Bob Beck. Bob Beck coming up to my table, and he was a naysayer, I figured, because he sells
This call is from a federal prison.
those colloidal silver machines, and I was prepared to be attacked. He come up and he saw that I had 500,000 parts per million silver, and it was clear as water, and he invited me to come to his seminar, and he announced me, had me stand up, and told everybody to come to my booth because this man has clear silver water. Now, that was a man that has no agenda other than really helping people, and the FDA showed up to arrest him.
Where's he now? Where's Bob Beck now? I don't know the man. Where is Bob Beck now?
Bob Beck died of old, he died.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I've been locked up a while.
Yeah.
But the point is, the FDA's never arrested Wallach.
Yeah.
Or the Aniva brothers, Bickler.
Yeah.
So,
What about?
you can make it wrong and everybody's happy, but you start cheering people, you got trouble.
My wife is walking with me. She asked about Kevin Trudeau. I've heard the name before. Any idea about that man, or have you had any experience with him? He seems to be.
I've read his books, and they attacked him. He made statements like having a refrigerator in your house is bad because the freon that leaks out would be bad and all. He's a little paranoid, I think, because yes, I'm going to keep my refrigerator going, and no, a refrigerator does not leak enough. It's a sealed system. I'm not going to sit here and get all paranoid about my refrigerator. But he did say enough truth in his comments that the FDA came after him to put him in prison.
Yeah, he is in prison right now, I do believe.
Right. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to badmouth him. I think he was doing his best to actually help people, but I don't agree with all of his opinions, that's all.
Yeah, I understand.
The point is, I don't think Wallach's ever been arrested.
What about Hal Turner?
Ask that question again.
What's the story on Hal Turner?
I don't know.
I don't either. I've never heard the name. What about Hal Turner? Can you tell us
I
something?
forget. I'll
Okay.
look it
All
up.
right. Anyway, she must have heard it on the talk show radio. But we'll get this out, David. Our entire conversation. There'll be a long version and a short version. If anybody contacts me about wanting to join and contribute and be a part of this, I'll direct them to Dr. Guy Wilson unless you tell me different.
Okay, it's fine. And listen, let's finish the call talking about some things of interest.
Okay.
I found 7 different cancer cures. One of them was the hyperbaric chamber. If you go into a hyperbaric chamber, pressurize it to 99 pounds per square inch, feed a little extra oxygen in there and a little ozone, it 100% kill all and remove all cancers in 2 hours. We have that was one method that's 100%, and it even stopped the flesh-eating virus. We have the indium sulfate, which I invented, the hydrogen sulfate, which Dr. Gold invented. 10 milligrams is a dose. The copper water seems to be working. What am I missing?
Well, did you get the color photos I sent to you in the U.S. mail, or has that arrived yet?
No.
Okay, that should arrive.
Notice I didn't say ozone. I did not say ozone is a cure for cancer.
Right.
It's not.
Okay.
But a lot of people say it is and promoted it in the past. You know.
Okay.
The only thing I like about the copper water is it's the only treatment besides the oxygen, and the hyperbaric. Copper is non-toxic. The hydrogen sulfate and the indium sulfate have a skull and crossbones on the bottle, and they're very poisonous. Oh, I know something that you can throw into this mix. Turmeric in the mustard. You take turmeric stops cancer from growing. If you raise your turmeric levels, cancer can't grow.
What about turmeric in pill form? There's on any.
Yeah, that's
okay,
good.
Great. Okay, because my wife and I do take turmeric pills. You also talk quite a bit about this blood-brain barrier and how the copper water you've invented crosses the blood-brain barrier and how that's very important in I guess treatment of certain diseases. So, what about Lyme disease? I think one of my friends has Lyme disease as well.
Copper should remove all the viruses and bacteria that cause the Lyme disease. And the problem with the Lyme disease is it hides in the brain. So copper would be the perfect treatment for Lyme's disease because it crosses those barriers. It also has been shown to be the only cure, period, for the brain-eating amoeba. I actually had a doctor that was on a mission for the Baptist Church in Africa, had a brain-eating amoeba eating his brain, drank a bottle of copper water. He called me up and cried. He said that I saved his life, and he thanked me, and he was just very, very grateful. But there is no cure for the brain-eating amoeba. But I'm telling you, I have seen the copper water remove it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And also river blindness. We've used it on river blindness in Africa. So the copper really is amazing, and it's really not that great a discovery because copper chloride's been on the shelf for years. But I did write
This call is from a federal prison.
email explaining to you that we can ozonate the copper dry in a tumbler, and if we ozonate it enough, we can remove the rogue chlorides. And if you consume lots of copper and zinc and calcium together that have all been neutered that way, basically it removed the common cold in 2 hours and the symptoms. So these are things that we need to work. It's not about making money. I have no agenda. I'm in prison. I can only spend like $50, $60 a week and buy a few treats. That's all I can get. That's it.
Yep. Right.
No mansions, no Lamborghinis, nothing. Just
Well, even when you were the CEO of a successful business and pulling in millions of dollars of cash flow, you didn't go out and drive Lamborghini. That wasn't your thing, right? You didn't live in a big fancy mansion.
No, the nicest thing I had a Dodge diesel pickup truck, but it was nothing special.
Yeah.
And I had a regular house, no mansion.
Yeah.
I still have a farm, but of course I lost the factory because they firebombed it. But
Yeah.
the factory was 58,000 square feet. The feds brought in like 100 witnesses to lie against me, and there was a whole bunch of people that came that I don't know why they called them. They called like the industrial container supply from Salt Lake. They were selling me the bottles, All these people came to testify against me, and every one of them got up on the witness stand and said, I always paid my bill. I never cheated anybody. I never lied to anybody. They all actually said all kinds of nice things about me. And I just couldn't understand why the feds brought in all these people. They were just that somebody had something bad to say, I guess. I can't figure it out.
Yep. We're gonna run out of time. We've just had a couple of people murdered in a BOP federal prison. Do you feel concerned for your own safety where you are now, or you just turn that over to the Lord?
Well, everywhere I've ever been, I've always made friends. Everybody likes me. I don't like to brag about it, but I'm a very popular person.
Okay.
They call me Blue, in prison. The guards sometimes don't like me. Federal people don't like me. Your naysayers. But yeah, there's a lot of violence here, but I just work on what the Lord wants me to do. I don't like to use that word. I'll say God. I just try to keep busy with what I feel God wants me to do with my time and try to share the blessings that I've gotten and see if we can help mankind out of this pitfall. People need to get this book, the Tavistock Institute. They need to read that because that's where all these other people got all their information, like the ones that...
All right, the book he's talking about is Tavistock Institute, and somewhere in the title is the word human relations. I believe it's by the author John Coleman. I'm saying that from memory, but that's what I recall anyway. All right, that was 45 minutes of David Hinkson, the inventor of the Galt motor. You heard him share his thoughts about a business plan that could help the world, and I believe that David is the real deal. I have confidence that he is an honest man, and I believe that he is unjustly incarcerated, and I do believe that he has ideas that would benefit humanity. Whether you believe that is certainly up to you.